Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about the quote that I've posted on the Instagram and Facebook page. Please go below and follow if you haven't already. Mark Twain says, "I'm an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened." Now when I saw this, I immediately thought of the Stoic quote from Seneca, written almost 2,000 years before Mark Twain wrote this, which says, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." What does Seneca mean by this? I think that instinctively anyone that hears this quote will know exactly what Seneca's talking about and will be amazed that it was written 2,000 years ago, because it's quite frankly something all of us are going through all the time. We live in our heads, we're constantly thinking about what happened before, what's going to happen later on, everyone's been through that situation, whether it's a difficult work situation or a family situation where we've thought of the worst case scenario 1,000 times over, and then when the actual time comes, it's fine. For Stoics, the key to trying to avoid this is through understanding something called the dichotomy of control. And this idea essentially talks about the fact that there are some things in our control and some things outside of our control. And what we need to do is to focus on the things that are directly within our control. Unhappiness lies in obsessing over, thinking about the things that are outside of our control, because quite frankly there's not much we can do about it. The past is outside of our control, the future is outside of our control. The only thing that we can actually control is our choices. And now this is where it gets a bit sticky. We're going to go a bit in depth. So, are you sure you want to come ahead? Are you sure? Are you really sure? Alright, fine. So now, those of you that have stayed for my nerdy part. Right, there's a debate over what a human actually is. When we talk about I, what am I? Am I this t-shirt? Am I this skin? Am I my hairstyle? Now when people believe that they are their hairstyle, the moment that they lose their hair, they'll be unhappy. So if I believe that this head of hair on my head is what I am in essence and that I need my hair, if I start to lose it, I'm naturally going to be distraught because I am losing what I truly am. And Epictetus argued that unhappiness comes from this idea where we think that we are our wealth, because the wealth is outside of our control. We could just lose our money. Our hair is outside of our control. We could just lose our hair. Our health is out of our control. We could just lose our health. So then the question becomes, what are we? What is in our control? And Epictetus defines this as proheresis. For him, this is what the self is, and that means our choices. So essentially, our choices is what we truly are. There's a quote where Epictetus says, if something's outside of our control, say to yourself, "It is nothing to me." It's more accurate to translate this as, "That is not me," as esteemed philosopher Scepter tells us. So therefore, to conclude, for Stoics, happiness resides in focusing on what is within our control. Some objections that come to this. Hey, are you saying that everything that's outside of my control, I should just not think about or care about at all? I can see why you might think that, but no, Stoics are able to get past this by saying that there are things that are preferred indifference. This basically means there are things that are outside of our control, but that we would prefer. So for example, I probably prefer to have my hair rather than not having my hair. I probably prefer to be wealthy rather than be in extreme poverty. But if I don't have those things, I can still choose to live morally. In terms of Mark Twain, those imaginary troubles that he thinks about, this guy that's sitting in the water thinking that it's much deeper than it is, they would do well from a Stoic perspective to focus on what's within our control. Now, can we do that all the time? Absolutely not. Epictetus said himself to his students, "I'm like a sick man in a hospital bed, advising you who's next to me in the bed next to me." And that's the same when it comes to me. Right now, you can't see it in frame, but I'm sitting in quite a messy apartment. And so I'm here, I'm not trying to give you advice, I'm just trying to put across ancient wisdom that might help us in modern times in the way that it helps me, and we can all just try and improve each day. I'll see you tomorrow for more ancient wisdom from modern times.